Hi, I'm Jordan from Kettner Creative. In this video, we're going to show you how to set up a simple podcast using the Mackie ProFX10v3 audio mixing console. Now for this podcast, we're going to make some assumptions here. We're going to have two in-person guests. We're going to have a phone caller, so we're going to have to use a mix minus setup in order to integrate that phone caller into our podcast without creating feedback. And we're going to have a separate headphone jack input into the audio console from a playback device like an iPad, another phone, or a laptop. Let's say that we're talking about some YouTube videos. We just need to bring some sound in to the audio mixer here so we can talk about that as well. You could also use this for a soundboard to play your podcast theme song or something like that, but we're just gonna have an extra stereo output as well as the caller and the two mics. Now we're gonna use the USB output of this audio console to connect to Garageband. The USB output is already connected to the computer, and then we'll walk through the Garageband setup for the sake of recording. In terms of gain structure and gain setup, there's two different ways that we can go about this. One, we can be really conservative if we're just recording. We can leave a lot of headroom there, and then we can boost it in post if we need to. Or if we're live streaming, we really need to cheat that gain a lot closer to zero. I'll walk through that. We're gonna pretend that we're recording it and live streaming it in terms of gain setup, so we're going to walk through the options there. Now before we get started with plugging things into the mixer, we do need to zero out the mixer. When I zero out the mixer, I always leave the main master level at 0 or unity, even though it does not make an impact on the USB output of this mixer. It just works for the stereo outputs there. Then I'm going to turn all the white knobs on the mixer down. Make sure everything's muted. We're going to turn these orange knobs down. The gray and the blue we do want pointed straight up in that 12 o'clock position. Then we want to make sure that there's no buttons or switches that are pressed down. We're just going to leave everything in its default spot. Great. I think we're in a good starting point in order to plug in the microphones. So first of all, I'm going to plug in this orange cable XLR into the first input of the mixer and the yellow XLR cable into the second input. Now we're going to set up the gain for each one of these microphones. So I'm going to pick up this orange microphone. We're going to unmute the channel. We're going to press down this two phones or control room button. What this button does is this will allow the meter to work when we're just working with the gain of the microphone instead of waiting for it to go all the way down the mix. Then we're going to increase the gain here. Now if you read the Mackie manual, they do want you to increase the gain all the way until this light blinks. But what you can see here is that if we wait all the way until that light starts blinking, that we are up way past 0. If we're using the USB output on this audio mixer, everything has to be below 0. So I'm going to bring this down, and like I mentioned earlier, we do want to make sure that we stay below 0, so we're pretty close already. We're just bouncing off it. So what we're going to do, oh, we do have the compressor already left on from last time. I'm going to turn this down just so you can see. So as we talk, we are breaking 0. And we're going to bring this compressor up to the 12 o'clock position here. And now we won't. It's just barely touching 0, so I'm just going to reduce the gain a little bit. Now in terms of EQ for podcast mics, the most I ever do is I just put a low cut on them. If I need to make small changes to irritable frequencies depending on the guest, I'll do that, but I don't generally make big moves for podcast audio. We'll talk about the effects send in a minute, and we'll leave the pan straight up. Next, we'll turn this audio level on the channel here all the way up to the U or unity or 0 position. So this microphone is all set up. Next, since we're using the same microphone, we're going to copy paste the settings. We're going to put the low cut on. Move the gain to where the other mic is. Put the compressor up just past 12 o'clock. Leave the EQ flat. We're going to leave the pan flat, unmute it, and turn the level up to 0. Now back to this compressor for a minute. With the Mackie mixer here, it doesn't add gain. It just lowers the threshold at a fixed 6:1 compression ratio. So we don't have to worry about any weird gain effects happening with this one knob compressor. So we're all set up there. Next, we're going to set up our phone guest. Now in order for the phone to work, we need a full headset adapter to come out of the phone. A lot of phones don't have headphone jacks anymore, especially iPhones. So for this to work, I need a lightning to headset adapter. This is different than a headphone adapter. A headset adapter has a TRRS configuration, and that basically means that we need to send it a line level input and take a headphone jack out of it. Now, how do we do that? We do have this breakout cable here. You can see here there's the tip, ring, and the sleeve, so TRRS, and then we're going to plug that into this headset adapter. And what that does is that gives us a headphone output from the phone and an XLR input for line level input or mic level input. So this will help us connect to the audio mixer. First off, we're going to connect that headphone jack into the audio mixer. So here we'll plug this headphone jack cable into the headphone jack of our adapter. Adapters into adapters into adapters, but sometimes that's the way it goes. If you do want to see pricing or specs for anything that you see in this video, please check out the links in the description below. Everything that you see in this video, we have links so you can check out pricing or where to buy it or whatever you need to. Now at the other two ends of this cable here, we have one that has a red mark and one that has a white mark. This is typical. Sometimes they're colored up here, but red always goes to the right. So when we're plugging into 5, 6 here, the red one goes into 6 and the white one goes into 5. So now we brought audio into the mixer. We're just going to quickly test this. So we're just going to hit play, unmute 5, 6, and there you can see the meter's working already. So now we're going to mute it again. So that's perfect. Now, in order to feed audio to this XLR cable, we need to use the effects sends. In order for that to work, we need to make sure the effects are muted and turned all the way down. If the effects are muted and turned all the way down, then the effects send basically works like an auxiliary output or like a monitor channel. So this is perfect for what we're trying to do. We just need to send a custom mix to the phone. Now, a mix minus, we want to send the phone the whole mix. So we're going to make all these the same. We're going to point them up at the U there, right in the center for unity. But we do not want 5, 6 to get a copy of themselves. So we're going to turn that one down. The reason we don't want them to get a copy of themselves, if they get a copy of themselves, especially on a cellular network, it's usually going to be about half a second behind. This is going to cause an echo. It might cause feedback, but no matter what, it'll definitely be super distracting to the person on the phone. You can't possibly have a coherent conversation with somebody when they hear themselves with the half a second delay. That would be insane. It would drive me totally nuts. So we're going to turn that down. Then we don't have to worry about that. They will just get the whole mix. So we're sending a level from all the channels except themselves all the way out. And that'll come out through the effects send on this mixer. So we need a cable here that goes balanced 1/4 inch to XLR. Take that from the effects send. Then we're going to plug that into our little cable adapter that's going into the phone. Now this cable or adapter that's going into the phone here, this headset adapter as we call it, that will work for any laptop that has a headset output as well. Some laptops don't anymore. Even MacBooks, they just have a headphone output. So then you need some sort of a USB to headset adapter and then plug this cable in. That's how I would do it. Next, we're going to plug in one more device here. So this will take a headphone jack. We don't really have another device here, but in terms of podcast setup, this is a pretty common setup. So we're going to plug this into 7/8. We'll test it with the phone later just for kicks. So that takes another stereo output. We'll plug this into another laptop if we had playback. So now this is looking like a real podcast. We have 2 microphones. Obviously, if you need more, you can plug in up to 2 more XLR microphones into this audio console. So we have 2 microphones. We have our phone guest, and we have a playback device. We can play our theme song, or we can hook it up to a soundboard and run a full radio show or something like that. So now we're going to worry about setting this up so we can record it in Garageband. Now with this audio console, we have a separate video on how to multi-track record, but you can only multi-track record with this audio console if you have 2 channels. You can see here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 channels. So we cannot multi-track record, but we can record the whole output from this audio console. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to pop over here to Garageband, and we're going to start a new project. This would work the same. It's going to ask if we want to use the ProFX, and we do. This would work the same in any audio DAW. You could use Adobe Audition, you could use Logic, you could use Pro Tools, you could use Cubase. They all work basically the same. So here we have to select whether we want to record the input 1, which is the left channel, input 2, which is the right channel, or both together as a stereo track. We want to do that. Now, if we pick up a microphone here, we should expect it's making level. You can see that meter move, so we're doing great there. So we're just going to hit record. This is the microphone with the yellow XLR cable. This is the microphone with the orange XLR cable. Then we're going to play the music that's playing off the phone. See that that's working. Mute that. Then we're going to unplug this headset adapter and just test our other input that we have going on here. Hit play, unmute 7.8, turn it up. Good music coming from there as well. So there we have it. We tested both microphones, the phone, and our second input, our second stereo input there that came into 7.8. So that's how I would set up a podcast recording. It's pretty straightforward. Sometimes people just need help connecting the cables to the mixer and order of operations and reminders about gain. So I hope this video is helpful. Again, if you do see anything here that piqued your interest, definitely check out the links in the description. We have pricing and links for more information for anything that you see here. And if you have any questions or comments about this setup, we do read all the comments, so please leave a comment in the comment section below. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.